Hi guys, Shemo Polot here. Welcome back to the channel. So we haven't done Excel in a while, okay? And it's killing me. So this video, I show you how to build a progress tracker, which shows you a sort of progress bar, which shows you the status as you complete a bunch of different tasks within your project plan. If you're doing sort of project management stuff within Google Sheets, then this is something that could be really useful just because it's fun and it would make your document look a little less boring, a little more lively. In the video, you're going to learn how to use the COUNTIF formula, which you've probably seen before because I probably talked about it, or you've heard about it before, or you know how to use it already. You're going to learn how to insert checkboxes in Google Sheets. You're going to learn how to use the SPARKLINE function in Google Sheets. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Let's get into it. Okay, so the first thing when you look at this Google Sheet of mine, you may ask yourself why there are no grid lines in my sheet, and let me show you how to do that really quickly. So Excel has a built-in feature for removing grid lines. You go to the View tab, and then you just uncheck the box that says grid lines. However, Google Sheets doesn't make it easy, okay? But there's a workaround. So what you do is you select the entire sheet, or even you can select a section, but in this case, I chose to select the entire sheet. And so after selecting the entire sheet, what I do is I go to this borders icon, and I click borders. And then as you can see, it will make everything, but then then I go to black here, and let me just zoom out a bit just so you can see it. Okay, so I click the border. So then I click this border color here, and I just change it to white. Like that. And now all that has changed, okay? So now what we can do is, let me just make this a bit bigger. Okay, so that's how you can remove all the grid lines to create a nice little white clean sheet like this. So the next thing that I want to show you how to do is to add checkboxes, okay? So these checkboxes, I'm just going to delete them. But what you do, all you have to do is select the area where you want to put the checkboxes, go up to Insert, and select Checkbox, and there you have it, okay? And your checkboxes have been inserted. Okay, so now what I want to create is I want to create two things. The first thing I want to create is a percentage tracker that will increase as I complete each task. Like this. So we have 10 tasks. So when I check the first task, I expect to see 10%. Then when I click the second one, 20%, and so on and so forth. So how do we do that? So logically, what we want to do is we want to count the number of checkboxes when they are checked and divide that by all the checkboxes available. Okay. So a quick thing to know about checkboxes is when they are checked, they are true, as you can see here. And when they are unchecked, they are false, okay? That's important information to know because we're going to need that in our COUNTIF formula, okay? So let's get into it. So I want to put the percentage right here. So I type equals and do COUNTIF. Okay, so the COUNTIF function takes a range and a criterion. The criterion in this case is if is going to be true, okay? So as you can see here, this is an illustration. It takes a range, A1 to 10, and then it takes some sort of criterion. In this case, it's looking for everything in that range that's greater than 20. In this case, what am I looking for? I'm looking for everything in this range of checkboxes, and I want to know when they are true. That's it. And I close that bracket, okay? So as you can see right now, it's saying 0 because none of them is checked, okay? So now I'm going to divide that, and I'm going to use a function called COUNT-A. COUNT-A counts all the entries in a range as long as the range isn't blank, okay? So I'm going to use it to count all the entries in the range, okay? So I just go COUNT-A, and then I just select all these checkboxes in that range, and I close that, and I press enter. So right now it is 0, and I'm going to change this to a percentage. I'm going to format it as a percent. I'm going to make that just no decimal places. And so now when I click the box, as you can see, 10%, I click 20%, 30%, and so on and so forth, okay? So that's the first stage. That's how we create the percentage tracker, which is tied to the checkboxes, okay? I'm just going to change the format here really quickly. I'm going to make it just so I can make the font uniform throughout the entire document. Okay, so now I want to create a progress bar. The progress bar is showing me exactly what the percentage is showing me. It's just a bar, so it looks nicer, and let's have fun with it, okay? So to create a progress bar, what we use is called a SPARKLINE. Excel has a SPARKLINE feature that allows you to add SPARKLINEs that show you a trend in different data over time. I made a video about that when I made a video about presenting tables better. You can check out that video right here. Or in the link in the description. But Google Sheets doesn't have that feature. With Google Sheets, you have to be a bit smarter, but Google Sheets has a SPARKLINE function that allows us to do the same thing. So now the first thing I want to do is type the SPARKLINE function, okay? And I want to show you what the SPARKLINE function takes, okay? So now as you see there, it takes data, or it takes a range of information, and then there are a bunch of different options. Now the options are just the different features of the SPARKLINE. What kind of line is it? Is it a bar graph? Is it a line graph? Is it, what color is it? And things like that, okay? So the options will be where we actually create the specific instructions for what we want our progress bar to look like, okay? So what we want to do, this progress chart, this progress bar is going to show us how many boxes are checked, which will correspond to our progress towards completing our entire project, okay? So how can we get the number of boxes that were checked? We use the count formula we used in here, okay? So in fact, if I can just come here, if I come in here, I just need to get this formula that we used here, that one, and I copy it, and then in our SPARKLINE function, I just paste it there, okay? Because this is what we're looking for. And again, if you select it, Google will tell you how many boxes are checked. Right now there are 3, as you can see, 1, 2, and 3, okay? So that's our data, okay? So then we add a comma, so now we go to the options. As you can see, the options argument is now bolded, okay? To insert the options, we need to use a curly bracket. Again, that's what you see here. Again, that's just how it is. So if that's a turn off for you, well then just follow closely and you can just replicate it with practice. Google Sheets and Excel are just about practice, and every now and then things make sense, but usually you just need to know how to do something, okay? So I open my curly bracket, and the first thing I want, like you see in the example here, is the chart type. Everything has to be surrounded by quotation marks. So the chart type, and then we talk about the feature, then what the feature is, and we separate those two by a comma. So chart type, comma, and what we want is a bar. If we wanted a line graph, then we would put line here, but what we want is a bar, okay? So we are done with that feature, which is the chart type. Once we are done with that feature, we use a semicolon, okay? Then the next thing I want to select is the color. What color do we want the bar to be? And I want the bar to be green. So I use color 1. Again, if you put color, then for some reason, Google Sheets will make all the bars orange, regardless of what color you put in there. But color 1 will give you the exact color that you put in there. Now you can put, if you want a specific shade of the color, then I recommend you get the hex code for the color, but I'm just going to go with green for this, just for this illustration. Okay, so now we're done with the color feature. Then I use the semicolon again. The next thing I want is max. And what max is just, in order to create a progress bar, you need to know how big the longest bar is. In this case, what it means is when our progress bar is full, how many checkboxes are there? How many entries are there? We actually have what? We have 10, okay? Because there are 10 tasks, okay? So max is 10, okay? But so to be accurate, what we do, remember the count formula we used for dividing to get our percentage? That's just the same one we use. We use count A, and then we just select this entire range like that. We close that bracket. The brackets are really important at this point. Don't forget to close the curly bracket as well. And then finally we close the SPARKLINE function, and we press enter, and there you have it. We have a progress bar corresponding to 30%. To add a nice touch at the end, I'm going to make this cell black, just so there's a contrast between the green and the white background. So now when we add the checkbox, as you can see, our progress bar gets bigger and bigger and bigger until 100%. I'm going to leave it at 80 just because, so it looks a little nice like actual progress. So let me put it at 70%. But there you have it. That's how you can create a progress tracker for your projects. And just adding the bar and adding the percentages are really just a nice touch just to make your work a little more interesting, because otherwise, why are you even doing it? Let's be honest. But there you have it. We haven't done Excel or Google Sheets in a while, so I thought I'd give you this nugget. But yes, I will give you a link to this, but really I think you should customize it for your own projects at work. Go show off at work this week, okay? But yes, otherwise that's it for this video. If you liked it, if it was useful, don't forget to like and subscribe and share this with anyone that you know. Otherwise, I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.